Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Nandini. All right, so let's continue. And today we are going to continue with the CSAT series. And today it is lecture 10, and we will be looking into another topic known as ratio and proportion. Okay, so ratio and proportion has many aspects to it. There's a lot, but not everything is required for your uh, quantitative aptitude point of view. All right, in UPSC CSAT, I mean, this is one of the lesser weighted things. Okay, the next chapter, that is work and time, that is very important, but ratio and proportion is not that important. All right, there will be some questions, obviously. There could be some questions, and those are usually very simple. So we will not be looking into too much in depth regarding this chapter. For example, we have dividendo and such other things and all. That all is not necessary, but we will be looking into some very basic things about ratio and proportion, and as usual, doing some problems regarding this topic. So, good afternoon. Let's begin. CSAT, ratio and proportion. All right. This is all I'm going to teach you today. Some very basic things, and using this, we are going to start doing problems. So the ratio of two quantities A and B in the same units, that is very important. Please keep in mind, both A and B should be of the same unit. Okay, is the fraction A by B, and we write it as A is to B. Clear? So both of these quantities should be in the same units, and if it is so, they can be written as A by B or A is to B. So basically, A is to B can be written as A by B. Both are same, because it shows the ratio of A with B. Okay, now a very important result. The multiplication or division of each term of a ratio by the same non-zero number does not affect the ratio. Clear? So we can rewrite A is to B as 2A by 2B. This is equal to 4A by 4B. This is equal to 7A by 7B. Clear? So we can multiply both numerator and denominator by the same number, that is non-zero, any number of times, and the ratio will remain constant. Okay, so because we can write, say, 10 is to 100. This is basically is equal to 1 is to 10, dividing both sides by 10. Correct. So the ratio does not change if the numerator and denominator is multiplied by a same number which is not 0. Clear? Now, this is ratio. Now, what is proportion? Proportion basically implies the equality of two ratios. Okay, so we have two ratios, A is to B and C is to D. So are they equal? Or what is their similarity or equality? That is what proportion denotes. So in order to solve for proportion, there is a very famous rule known as the product, which is explained as the product of the means is equal to product of extremes. So if A is to B is as to C is to D, okay, we call this symbol 4 dots as is as to. Okay, so if A is to B is as to C is to D, then product of the means equal to product of the extremes, which means B is to C. So this is the mean, B is to C. The middle two terms is B into C is equal to A into D, the extreme terms. Clear? So this is known as the equality of two ratios, which is known as proportion. Product of the means, product of the two middle terms is equal to product of the two extreme terms. This is all you have to know in order to solve the questions today. All right, I will teach you one more thing regarding partnership, that we will be doing one specific question regarding that. At that time, I will explain to you. All right, so hello Sola, welcome. So is this much very clear? I hope it is very clear. So I'm going to move on. Okay. Divide, this is the first question. Try this yourself. I'm not going to give you time or anything. I will just read the question, explain it and move on. Okay, that's how we are going to do. So first question, divide rupees 1162 among A, B and C in the ratio 35 is to 28 is to 20? Very simple question, just to give you an understanding about what ratio is. So you have a total of 1162 rupees with you. Clear? And you have three friends. One is A, other is B, and other is C. You have to divide this much rupees to three of them in the ratio 35 is to 28 is to 20. Clear? So 35 parts of this should go to A, 28 part of this should go to B, and 20 part of this should go to C. So basically, if you draw a pie diagram, okay, so 35 percentage, sorry, it cannot convert this to percentage directly, sorry for that. We have to adjust it towards 100 before I can do that. 1 second. Okay, that does not apply, sorry for that. Only if this adds to 100 can we do it. It does not add to 100, I just calculated it. Clear? But anyway, you have to divide this into three parts in this ratio. In order to do that, first thing you have to do is find the total number of parts. So 35 plus 28 plus 20. Correct? 35 parts for A, 28 parts for B, and 20 parts for C. So the total number of parts is equal to 35 plus 20, 55 plus 8 is 63 plus 20 is 83. 83 parts. Now, divide the total rupees into 83 parts. Clear? So how much would we get? 1162 divided by 83. And this is equal to 1 into 83, 83. Then we have 33 remaining. So 332 is equal to 4. Okay. This goes 4 times perfectly. So 1162 divided by 83 is equal to 14. Clear? So A will get 35 into 14. B's share will be what? 28 parts. And C's share would be 20 parts. Correct? Think about it. This is the ratio. So we found the total number of parts, that is 83. We divided the total amount with 83. So we got what one part is. And now 35 parts for A, 28 parts for B, and 20 parts for C. Just multiplying it by these numbers. So 35 into 14 is great. 35 into 2 is 70. 70 into 7. So 490. 28 into 14. Okay, that I have to do. 28, no. 28, 280. Then 5 is 140. So 420 minus 28. 392, I guess. And then 20 into 14, 2 into 14, 28, 0. So these are the answers. This is how you divide. Okay, I hope you understood that basic. Very simple question, very direct question. These kinds of questions will not be asked for exam. The only purpose of this question is to make you understand what it is. Alright. Now, we are going into questions that can come in exam. Any exam, not just CSAT or of UPSC. This could come as well in your PSC or MBA, CAT, okay, MAT, whatever. So, a bag contains 50 paise, 20 paise, and 10 paise coins. Clear? Only this is valid these days, but even then, 50 paise coins are there, 20 paise coins are there, and 10 paise coins are there in the ratio 5 is to 9 is to 4. Alright? The total amount is rupees 206. We have to find the number of coins of each type. How many 50 paise coins are there? How many 20 paise coins are there? And how many 10 paise coins are there? This is what we have to find. How would we find this? What is the formula or how to do this? Simple, just as we did the previous question. 50 paise coins, okay, are say 5x, 5 parts, correct? 20 paise coins, how many parts? 9 parts. 9 into something, 9 parts. Now, 10 paise coins is equal to 4 parts. Okay, so totally how many parts are there? 5 plus 9, 14 plus 4, 18x. This is the total. Let that be there. Not much important for us. Now, total amount is rupees 206. Emphasis on rupees. At the beginning of this session, I told you that if we want to apply ratio and proportion, the unit has to be same. Here it is 50 paise, 20 paise, 10 paise. Here it is rupees 206. So either convert paise into rupees or convert rupees into paise. Clear? It's up to you. But here for easy calculations, let's convert say paise into rupees. How many 50 paise coins make 1 rupees? 2. Correct? Similarly, so 2 50 paise coin make 1 rupee. 5 20 paise coin makes 1 rupee. 10 paise coin make 1 rupee. Correct? So 5x by 2. 5x is the total number part of 50 paise coins. Correct? So 5x by 2 is the total rupees of 5 paise. 50 paise, sorry. Okay? Plus 9x, this gives the 20 paise coins. 9x by 5 is the total rupees of 20 paise. Plus 4x by, let me just erase that. $4x by 10. This is the total number of rupees made of 10 paise. Got it? 4x is the 10 paise, total amount of 10 paise. Divided by 10, we'll convert it into rupees. Similarly, 9x is the amount of 20 paise. So if we divide it by 5, we will get, we can convert that into rupees. That's how we did this. So this is equal to 206. Understood the conversion? I hope it's very clear. Now, simply solve for x. What is LCM? LCM is, have I made any mistakes? No, right? I hope I have not made any mistakes. If I have made any mistakes, please let me know. So LCM is what? 10. Okay, so 10 divided by 2 is what? 5. So 5 into 5, 25. Plus 10 divided by 5, 2 into 19, 9 is 18 plus 4x. 4x is equal to 206. So simply add them. 25 plus 18, 25 plus 18 and plus 4 is 22. So 25 plus 22 is 47. X is equal to 2060. So x is equal to 2060 divided by 47. Understood how it's done? So now we found the values for x. So find the number of coins of each type, which means simply substitute the values. That's it. So 50 paise coin is 5x. So 5 into this. So 5x is equal to 5 into 2060 by, just do the calculation, okay? Similarly, 9x is equal to 9 into 2060 by 47. Similarly, 4x is equal to 4 into 2060 by 47. Once you solve this, you will get the answer. Did you understand how I did it? Whenever you get these kinds of questions, make sure that you convert it into something of a common unit. Otherwise, you cannot apply ratio and proportion. So if you are doing it in paise, do everything in paise. If you are doing it in rupees, do everything in rupees. Clear? That is the only thing that you have to remember here. Otherwise, this is a very direct question. Going into another one. You might have seen this question very often. Okay. A mixture contains alcohol and water in the ratio 4:3. Okay. If 5 liters of water is added to the mixture, the ratio becomes 4:5. Find the quantity of alcohol in the given mixture. What is the final quantity of alcohol? That's the question. I think you might have seen these kinds of questions a lot. Okay, say sometimes it's like a milkman is adding water to the milk. Okay, and this much part of water is added. What is the content of the milk? Okay, these kinds of questions. So how to solve them? Solving them is actually pretty easy. If you want, you can pause the video here and try to solve it yourself. Otherwise, you can continue watching my explanation. So, a mixture contains alcohol and water. Okay, so it is alcohol is to water is equal to 4:3. This is given in the question. Correct? 4 parts of alcohol and 3 parts of water are there in the mixture. Now, 5 liters of water is added to the mixture. 5 liters of water. Okay, so before that, we can write this as 4/3 or 4x by 3x. Okay, I mean 4, it is not 4 liters and 3 liters. It is 4:3. That is the ratio. So it can be anything. Earlier I told you we can multiply numerator and denominator by any number that is not 0. And the ratio will remain the same. Correct? So I am multiplying numerator and denominator by x. So 4x is the amount of alcohol and 3x is the amount of water. Now, 5 liters of water is added to the mixture. Correct? So 5 liters of water added. How can we rewrite this? 4x by 3x plus 5. Correct? To the water, I added 5 liters. So here it is not parts. It's clearly given as liters. That is why I did not put x here. Otherwise, I would have written 5x. Got it? So since it's given as liters and not exactly as parts, I'm writing 5 as 5 constant. So the fraction becomes 4x by 3x plus 5. And the question says that when this water is added, the ratio becomes 4:5. So this is equal to 4:5 or 4/5. Find the quantity of alcohol in the given mixture. That is the question. Okay, so you have to find the value for 4x. Correct. So first we have to find the value for x and then multiply it by 4. Very simple. So 4x into 5 is equal to 4 into 3x plus 5. Cross multiplication. Okay. So this implies 20x is equal to 12x plus 20. And this implies 8x is equal to 20, or implying x is equal to 2.5. Therefore, 4x is equal to 10. Correct answer, option 10. Option B, which is 10. Got it? This is how you solve those kinds of questions. I think you might have seen these types of questions a lot. Adding something extra into a mixture, which changes the proportion of the mixture. So what is the final values of different contents in the mixture? This is how you solve those questions using ratio and proportion. Okay, so shall we move on to the next question? All right. Here is the next one. Again, if you want to solve this yourself, please pause the video here and do it. Otherwise, you can continue. A, B, and C started a business by investing rupees 1,20,000, 1,35,000, and rupees 1,50,000 respectively. Okay, so A invested 1,20,000, B invested 1,35,000, C invested 1,50,000. Find the share of each out of an annual profit of 56,700 rupees. So after 1 year, their investment, so their business gave out a profit of 56,700 rupees. So what is the share of A, what is the share of B, and what is the share of C? So this is called partnership. Okay, these questions are actually called as partnership questions. So how would we find the share of each of them? obviously the person who has invested more gets the bigger share. That is logical, correct? Then the second person and then the third person. So let's do it. Ratio, okay? Ratio of shares of A, B, C is equal to 1,20,000 is to 1,35,000 is to 15 4 zeros. Clear? So we can reduce these huge numbers into simpler forms and write as 120 is to 135 is to 150. We can again reduce this by 15 and we can write it as 8 is to 9 is to 10. So this is the simplest terms. Whenever you get ratios in huge numbers, try to divide it by the HCF so that you can get the simplest form. That is how I did this. We can easily cancel out the 3 zeros and do into this. After that, reduce it into even simpler terms by dividing it with the HCF, highest common factor. I hope you remember that class. So this is the ratio of shares of A, B and C. Correct? So from the profit also, they should get their respective shares. So what is the total number of shares here? Total parts, 8 plus 9 plus 10. Okay, so 8 plus 9 plus 10 is equal to 27. So this is the total number of parts, total number of shares. Clear? Now let's divide this with that. So A's share is equal to, so since there are 27 total number of shares, what will be the value of one share? Value of one share is equal to 56,700 divided by 27. Correct? Total amount of rupees divided by number of shares. That will give you the value of one share. How many shares does A have? A have 8 shares. So 8 into 56,700 by 27. Clear? Now, B's share is equal to how much? 9. Okay, 9 into 56,700 divided by 27. And finally, C's share is equal to how much? 10 into 56,700 divided by 27. That is your answer. So let's solve this. 27 and 567. Does it go? 27 into 2, 54 and 27. Yes, perfectly divisible. So this is 21. Okay, so 8 into 2100, which is 8 into 2, 16 and 1 8. So 16,800 rupees will go to A. Then here also it is 21. So it is 9 into 21,100, and this is equal to 189, and this is 10 into 2100, which is 21,000. These are the respective amounts that each of them will get. Got it? Did you understand how to do the questions on partnerships? How much has been invested? So the person who invested the most will get the most amount of profit or loss, whatever. Correct? But problem is, in this question, the time is not given. Okay, everybody invested this X amount of rupees for say the same period. So the time is not different. So the investment, the profit depends upon only the investment. What if the time varies? This is the trick here. This is how the question can be made a bit more tricky. There is something that you have to understand before we do this question. Keep this in mind. If A invests rupees X for P months, okay, X amount of rupees has been invested for P number of months, and B invests rupees Y for Q months. All right, then A's profit share is to B's profit share will be XP is to YQ. Multiply the amount with month. So XP is to YQ. Why? Because time also has to be same. I told you, we cannot use ratio unless the unit is same. Correct? So if one person invests for a more, comparatively higher amount of time, then you have to factor in that also. Otherwise, ratios will not be correct. So when the time period varies, this is how you solve the question. A's profit is to B's profit is equal to XP is to YQ. Find the product of amount and month and put that as ratios. Got it? Keeping this in mind, let's do this question. Alfred started a business investing 45,000 rupees. Okay. After 3 months, Peter joined him with a capital of 60,000 rupees. After another 6 months, Ronald joined them with a capital of 90,000 rupees. At the end of the year, they made a profit of 16,500. Find the share of each of them. So by simply looking at it, we might think that no, Ronald invested 90,000 rupees, so he should get the highest amount. Problem is, Ronald started his investment only after 9 months since Alfred started. Correct? So Alfred's money has been invested into this for a longer time than Ronald. So that time factor has also needs to be considered. Clear? And for that, we will be using this equation, this formula, that is XP is to YQ. So let's do this question. All right. Alfred, Peter, and Ronald. So Alfred invested for how much time total? 1 year. Okay, it says that Alfred started a business with this much amount, and then at the end of 1 year, this is the profit. So Alfred started the business, so he did the whole thing. All right, so 12 months. Then after 3 months, Peter joined him. Clear? So 12 minus 3, that is 9 months. Peter's total investment, that is 60,000 rupees, was there for 9 months. And Ronald came even after another 6 months. So Ronald invested only for the remaining, that is 3 months. This much very clear? Now, at the end of the year, they made a profit of 16,500. So find the share of each of them. Let's find the ratio of their capitals. Ratio of capitals is equal to, be very clear here, 45,000 into 12 is to 60,000 into 9 is to 90,000 into 3. Is that clear? Did you understand this? Ratio of capital means the amount invested into time, the time period in which the investment was made. So Alfred invested 45,000 rupees for a period of 12 months. So 45 into 12. Peter invested 60,000 rupees for a period of 9 months. So 60,000 into 9. And Ronald invested 90,000 rupees for a period of 3 months. So it is 90,000 into 3. So this is known as the ratio of capitals. You factor in the time also. XP is to YQ. That is the method. Now, the usual. Find the smallest ratio and divide the final amount with the respective ratio. That's it. Okay. So this would be equal to 45 into 12 is what? 45 into 2 is 90 into 12. So 54,000. No, not 1,000. 5,40,000. Okay. Is to 6 into 9. Again, 54 followed by 4 zeros is to 27 followed by 4 zeros. Clear? We can cancel out all the zeros. So 54 is to 54 is to 27. That is basically 2 is to 2 is to 1. This is the smallest ratio. Now, total number 5 parts. Correct? 2, 2 and 1. So totally there are 5 parts. 2x, 2x and x. Divide the total with 5 and give the share to each of them. That's it. So Alfred's share is equal to how much? What is the total profit in the end? 16,500, correct? 16,500 into 2 by 5, correct? 2 for Alfred. So 2 by, out of total, how many total parts? 5. 2 plus 2 plus 1. So 2 of 5 parts of 16,500 goes to Alfred. Peter, what is Peter's share? 16,500 into, again, 2 by 5. Peter also got 2 parts. Ronald. Oh, I can't write there. Okay. Ronald's share is what? 16,500 into only 1 part. So 1 by 5. Correct? So this is equal to, okay, what is this? 5 goes 3. So 33,000. So 3,300 into 2. That is 6,600. Okay. So this is also 6,600. And so this is 3,300. These are the answers. Did you understand how to get this? If the time periods are not equal, then multiply the time period with the investment. Okay, that, or find the ratio of capitals, and then simply, solve the rest of it as we did earlier questions. Let's do another question for example, for your better understanding. A, B, and C start a business, each investing 20,000 rupees. Okay. After 5 months, A withdrew 5,000 rupees. B withdrew 4,000 rupees. And C invested 6,000 rupees. Clear? At the end of the year, total profit of 69,900 was recorded. Find the share of each of them. So this is a question that exactly same as what we did just earlier. Just be very clear that here A and B withdrew 5,000 each and C invested 6,000. Okay, keep that in mind, that difference. Otherwise, this is basically the same question we did earlier. So if you want to try this out yourself, please pause the video here and try to work it out. Otherwise, continue watching. I'll solve it. All right. So, ratio of capitals. Correct. Is equal to. How would you take the ratio of capitals here? If you can understand this, then this problem is nothing. How to find the ratio of capitals? So what is the ratio of capitals? Everybody started with an investment of 20,000. Correct? How long was that 20,000 there? That is the question. So 20,000 into, okay, A is, we are starting with the value for A, investment of A, into, after 5 months, A withdrew 5,000 rupees. So that 20,000 rupees was there for only 5 months. Correct? So 20,000 into 5 plus, after 5 months, A withdrew 5,000 rupees. So from then onwards till the end of the year, okay, so the remaining time, how much amount was there? 20,000 minus 5,000, that is 15,000 rupees. Correct? So 15,000 into, what is the rest? 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 months. Okay. In a year, there are 12 months. So 5 months, 20,000 rupees. So the rest is 7 months. 7 months, 15,000 rupees. So this is A. Clear? Is 2. What is for B? Same thing. B also started with 20,000 rupees. And B also put it for 5 months. After that, B withdrew 4,000 rupees. Correct? So the rest is how much? 16,000 rupees into 7. This is B's investment. Is 2. How much for C? C also started with 20,000 rupees for a period of 5 months. But later on, what happened? He invested more rupees. C invested 6,000 rupees. So we have to add that to 20,000. 26,000. Correct? Into 7. This is the ratio of capitals. Once you get this, the rest is same. Got it? This is how you take the ratio of capitals. Make sure that you have a very clear idea about how much investment is there in what time length. Be very clear about that. Then you can simply solve this. So let's do the final calculations. So this can be rewritten as what? 20,000 into 5, that is 1 lakh. 1 lakh, and then we have 15 into 7, that is 105 followed by 3 zeros, correct? So total it will be 205 followed by 3 zeros, correct, is 2. Here again 100 0 0 0, then 2 16 into 7, 16 into 5 80, then 96 112. So it is plus 100 212 0 0 0. I hope there is no mistake. If there is any mistake, please let me know. 20,000 into 5 is 1 lakh again. 26 into 7, 26 into 5 is 130, and then plus 2 52 82. So 182 plus 100 282 0 0 0. Okay, all I did is simply multiply all these things and did the addition and wrote it. That's it. All right, so we can convert this into even simpler forms. That is 205 is to 202, 12 is to 282. Cancelling out the zeros. Now, what is the total amount of profit made? That is 69900. Correct? So what is each of their shares? Accordingly, we have to give. So A's share is equal to, A have 205 parts, correct? So total amount is 69900. 69900 into 205 parts of how much total parts? 205 plus 212 plus 282. So 200 plus 200, 400 plus 200, 600, 682, 694, 699, 699. So easily cancelled out. 20500. This is A's share. Now B's share is equal to, again, 69900 into how much parts? 212 parts. So 212 divided by total parts, that is 699, is equal to 21200. This is B's share. And C's share would be how much? 282 parts, correct? So 69900 by 699 into 282 is equal to 28200 parts. I think you can't see that, but I hope you understood. Clear? So these are simple calculations that you know. You can do it yourself. The trick is to put this question in terms of the ratio of capitals. If you get the ratio of, identify the ratio of capitals correctly, then this is a no-brainer. Okay, shall we move on? We have completed 6 questions. There are only 4 more questions remaining. I hope this much is clear. If there are any doubts at any point, please put it in the live chat and I will explain it happily once again. Okay. Since no questions are there so far, let's continue, assuming you have understood everything I have mentioned. Now, for another question, same concept. 4 milkmen rented a pasture. A grazed 24 cows for 3 months, B 10 cows for 5 months, C 35 cows for 4 months, and D 21 cows for 3 months. Okay, so if A's share of rent is 720, find the total rent of the field. So basically, there are 4 milkmen. Okay, so together, all of them together, they rented a pasture land, in order for their cows to graze. Okay, so A had 24 cows and these cows grazed for 3 months. B had 10 cows which grazed for 5 months. C had 35 cows which grazed for 4 months, and D had 21 cows which grazed for 3 months. Now this pasture land has some rent, correct? Pasture land has some rent. A's share of rent was 720. Then find the total rent of the field. So we have to find the other shares and add them together. That's it. Same procedure, same question, which is ratio of capitals. Okay, so let's do it. Here there is no capital, so we will write it as ratio of share is equal to, how will we write? A is to B is to C is to D. How can we write this? A grazed 24 cows for 3 months, so 24 into 3. correct, is 2. B grazed 10 cows for 5 months. C grazed 35 cows for 4 months. And D grazed 21 cows for 3 months. This is the ratio of their shares. Clear? So if we simplify this, we will get 24 into 3 is 72. 10 into 5 is 50. 35 into 4 is 140. And 21 into 3 is 63. Clear? Now, what is the total? We can find the total also so that we can easily calculate it later. 72 plus 50, 122 plus 140 is 262 plus 63 is equal to 325. This is the total. Total parts. Clear? Now, we have the question is asking for the total rent of the field. Correct? So let the total rent be X. All right. A's share of rent is 720 rupees. Correct? So A's share is equal to how much actually? 72 parts is therefore A. So 72 into X by 325. Do you understand? I will rewrite that one just to make it much more clear. Total rent, we are considering it to be X. A's share is 72 parts out of total 325 parts. So 72 out of 325 parts, this is A's share into total rent, which is X. This is equal to, it is given in the question as 720 rupees. Correct? So X is equal to 720 into 325 divided by 72, which is equal to 3250. So the value of X is equal to 3250. So what is X? X is the total rent, and that is the question. Find the total rent of the field. Total rent is 3,250 rupees. Did you understand how to get this? Put it everything into the ratio of shares correctly, and then we are reverse engineering thing. Here the rent of A is given. So from that we have to construct the final rent. In order to do that, all you have to do is correctly identify the ratios. Correct. So once you find these ratios correctly and find the total number of parts, then we can easily find 72 out of the 325 parts. That is the share of A. So in rent also, share will remain the same. Correct. Rent is based on how much you have used. If A has used this much, then his share in rent will be equivalent. So it is same, 72 parts out of 325. That much into X. That is A's share. And that is given as 720. And simply solve for X to find the total rent. Okay, let's move on. If 36 men can do a piece of work in 25 hours, in how many hours will 15 men do it? So you might have seen these kinds of questions a lot. Okay, mostly the questions come from work and time. That chapter I will take tomorrow. That is a very important chapter. Most questions come from those kinds of chapters that we will be doing. But in ratio and proportion also, there can be some questions that have similar methods of solving. Okay, you can solve this question using ratio and proportion. You do not have to go to work and time for that. Okay, so if you want to try this out yourself, please pause the video here and do it yourself. Otherwise, continue watching. If 35 men can do a piece of work in 25 hours, in how many hours will 15 men do it? That is the question. So let required number of hours be X. We don't know what that is. So I hope you remember the first slide. I told you the equation. Product of means is equal to product of extremes. Product of means is equal to product of extremes. I hope you remember that. That is how we are solving this. Okay, so let require the number of hours be x. Now, how many hours will 15 men take to do this? Correct. 15 men will take x hours. Clear? 36 men will take 25 hours. Okay, this is men. This is time. Now we have to put this in the ratio proportion method. So 15 is to 36 is as to x, 25 is to x. Did you understand this? This is very, a bit tricky. 15 men took x hours and 36 men took 25 hours. Clear? So product of means, that is the middle terms, is equal to product of extremes. So therefore 15 into x is equal to 36 into 25, and therefore x is equal to 36 into 25 divided by 15, that is 60. Clear? Looks simple. So here the answer is option B, but you have to get this correctly. 15 is to 36 is as to 25 is to x. If you put it as 15 is to 36 is as to x is to 25, then it's wrong. Gone. You have to be very careful here. You have to match the ones which matches. So 15 and x should come together. Clear? It should come in the extremes. 36 and 25 should come as a package. So it is 36 is as to 25 in the middle. So product of means is equal to the product of extremes. Let's do more questions regarding this and you will understand it better. Another one. If 15 men working 9 hours a day can reap a field in 16 days, in how many days will 18 men reap the same field working 8 hours a day? Slightly more difficult, correct? Here, earlier it was, the question was based on number of men and number of days. But here, the number of hours are also specified. So, one extra thing to keep in mind. How would we solve for the value of time? That's the question. Let's do it. 15 men. Okay. So, here it is men and here it is hours. 15 men working 9 hours a day takes a total of 16 days. Correct? In how many days will 18 men working 8 hours a day finish it? So let that be x days. Got it? Now we have to put this in the terms of that ratio and solve for x. So how to do this? 18 is to 15. This is men, and we are putting the hours also. 8 is to 9 is as to 16 is to x. Did you get this? 18 is to 15. Okay, so this is the men's ratio. This is number of men, and this is r. So 18 is to 15, 8 is to 9, so 16 is to x, because we have to multiply the extremes and multiply the means, correct? So here the ratio will go other way. That is why it is 16 is to x and not x is to 16. In the previous question also I said the same. It's not x is to 25, it is 25 is to x. Okay, so now simply solve. 18 into 8. The total number of hours worked by 18 men. Alright, into product of extremes. So x is equal to product of means. So 15 into 9 into 60. This is equal to 18 into 8 is how much? 144, right? Yes, 144. X is equal to 15 into 9 into 16 is also 144. So x is equal to 50. Answer is B. Did you understand how to do this? I'm pretty sure this is not that much clear. So I will explain this once again. First of all, write down the data that you got. 15 men working for 9 hours a day completes the work in 16 days. 18 men doing 8 hours of work a day completes the work in how many days? So let that be X. Clear? So now we have to put this in the ratio proportion format. 18 hours of 18 men working 8 hours a day is to 15 men working 9 hours a day is as to 16 is to X. So here it's not X is to 16, it is 16 is to X. That is where you have to be careful. Clear? Because we have to apply this rule. Product of means is equal to product of extremes. So the extremes should be the same. Clear? So since we have here the extreme is 18 men working 8 hours a day, here also the extreme should be the corresponding one. So 18 men working 8 hours a day. Here corresponding value is X. So X should come in the extreme area at that in the RHS also. Here 15 and 9 are in the mean area. So here also in the mean area the corresponding value has to come. 15, 9 and 16 is the corresponding value. So that has to come in the middle. Once you put it in this form, simply multiply and find the value. One more question in the same format and you would understand it better. Final question for the day. A garrison of 3,300 men had provisions for 32 days. Garrison means a company, okay, a troop of soldiers of 3,300 men had provision for 32 days. Okay, they had food supplies and all for 32 days. When given at a rate of 850 grams per head. Clear? Now, at the end of 7 days, okay, which means after 7 days, a reinforcement arrives. So some more men came. And it was found that the provisions will last 17 days more. Okay, so after 7 days, some more men came and the rest of the provisions will last only for 17 more days when it is given at the rate of 825 grams per head. What is the strength of the reinforcement? So how many men came after the 7 days? That is the question. Clear? So again, the question is a bit lengthy, but you have everything you need to solve this problem in the question itself. Very simple question actually. Let's write this down. 3,300 men, correct? Each given 850 grams of provisions per day. For how many days? 25 days. 3,300 men had provisions for 32 days, correct? At 850 grams per head. But at the end of 7 days, more men came. So the equation all changed. So only for the first 7 days, they had the, so 32 minus 7 days, they had the provisions. Great. So 3,300 into 850 for 25 days. And some number of men came. The provision was cut down to 825 grams per head. And this is given for 17 days. Clear? Now, what is the strength of reinforcement? So let this value be X. So how would you put this in ratio proportion form? 825 is to 850. Okay, corresponding values 17 is to 25 is as to 3300 is to X. Correct or? Did you understand this? 825 is to 850 is also 17 is to 25. Corresponding values 825 is to 850, so 17 is to 25. So other way, in the other area it is opposite. So 3,300 is to X. Okay, and now simply solve. 825 into 17. Okay, and the product of extremes says multiply the ends. So into X is equal to 850 into 25 into the means. So product of extremes is equal to product of the means. Solve for x. That's it. So x is equal to 850 into 25 into 3300 divided by 825 into 17. Clear? So 25 and this one, how many times will it go? 25 goes 4 times in 100, so 32, 33. And here 34. Correct? And 34 and 17 goes here twice. And 33 and 33 cancelled. So answer is 5000. So the value is 5000. So what is x? X is the total number of men. Correct? Total number of men is x. So what is the value of reinforcement? Reinforcement is equal to 5000 minus the already existing men, 3300. And that is understood. Try to do this yourself. Otherwise, you might think you understood, but you won't be able to solve this in exam. Okay. Take the question, erase everything here, and or take a blank piece of paper, read the question and try to work it out yourself. And if you can get the answer yourself, then you have understood. Otherwise, you will get blocked. All right. So that is it. We have come to the end of this session. Thank you for joining. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. I hope these CSAT classes are being useful to you, at least in some way. We are only doing 10 questions per day. Okay, that's how we are pacing ourselves. Later on, I will give you more questions to practice yourself. You can download free question papers online, or you can do that also. Plenty of free questions are available in various online platforms. You can try it out, anything. Don't look for CSAT as such. Look for, say, any other exam question papers that contains quantitative aptitude. Bank exam questions, IBPS questions, bank PO questions, RBI questions. All of them has quantitative aptitude as a major section. So do it. Okay, the more you practice, the better you will get at it. Clear? So we will see again at 8 p.m. tonight for our environment lecture. So until then, see you. Bye.